Good evening and welcome to X Stadium on the campus of Wichita State University, where tonight the YouTube channel for the NBC World Series. Glad to bring you more action from the 89th NBC World Series tonight. Our fourth and final game has the Denver Cougars taking on Austin Lonestar in a game featuring a couple of teams that are both 1-1 in this NBC World Series. Denver is the visitors. They'll bat first. Let's run down their starting lineup. Caleb McClellan will lead off. He's in right field. He'll be followed by second baseman Jonathan Gonzalez. Matt Bathauer bats third. He's at first base. Zeke Minnick hits cleanup. He is behind the plate. Batting fifth for Denver is Mike Bathauer. He's the third baseman. Judah Wilbert hits sixth. He's at shortstop. Seth Lucero will bat seventh. He's the designated hitter. Jack Deere bats eighth, and he's in left field. And batting ninth, Brady Webb in center field. Again, the lineup for Denver: McClellan, Gonzalez, Bathauer, Matt Bathauer, Zeke Minnick, Mike Bathauer, then Wilbur, Lucero, Deere, and Webb. Yes, the Bathauers both on this Denver team. Matt bats third. He's at first base. Mike bats first. He is at third base, and we'll try to keep that clear throughout the night. Christian Ackerholm is the pitcher for the Austin Lonestar team, who originally went to Georgia Tech and then ended up redshirting there, never played, ended up at Temple College just south of Waco, north of Austin. And at Temple College, he appeared in 19 games this past season, 4 starts. He had a record of 5-0 in 53 2/3 innings pitched, so nice numbers for Ackerholm there. You get a look at him for those of you watching on the YouTube stream, as Ackerholm is a righty. He will get the start for Lonestar. I have to stand corrected. Lonestar is 2-0 in this tournament, and Denver is 1-1. Lonestar knocked off the SC Blues 9-0 on Thursday to start this tournament. And then Saturday they knocked off the Kansas Cannons 3-1. While Denver has split their 2 games, they lost to the Kansas Cannons 8-1 on Thursday, then shut out the SC Blues Saturday 11-0. So we're ready to go. Caleb McClellan will step in for Denver. And right at 8:30, the scheduled start time, Central Time, we are ready to go. And the first pitch from Ackerholm is swung on and missed by the right-hander McClellan, 0-1. Temperature 81 degrees and not any wind at all. It has been a picture-perfect day for baseball here in South Central Kansas for this Monday version of the 89th NBC World Series. 0-1 to Caleb McClellan, right-handed hitter, and he takes inside and almost hit him. And in fact, the home plate umpire is going to ask for a second opinion, and they say that it did. Mike Wentz is behind the plate. Ben Harlow is the first base umpire. And already a little controversy here, as it looks like the Lone Star fans not real happy with that decision. And it was funny because McClellan didn't really act like he got hit. It wasn't until Wentz consulted with Harlow that it was determined it was a hit batsman. And McClellan down at first base after getting hit by the pitch to start us off. So that'll bring Jonathan Gonzalez up to the plate. Austin Lonestar wearing dark jerseys, black jerseys trimmed in white, white pants. They've got black helmets as well. And being the home team, the Denver Cougars are in their white jerseys, white pants trimmed in red. 1 ball and no strikes to count to Jonathan Gonzalez. Hitting .571 in this tournament. He was 4 for 7 coming into play tonight, and we'll see if he's able to change that. Soft toss over to first, and easily back in is Caleb McClellan. Ackerholm will work from the stretch, and the runner bluffs, and the pitch swung on and missed. 87 miles an hour with that one for Ackerholm. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. A 2.18 earned run average for Christian Ackerholm at Temple College this past season. 49 strikeouts in 53 2/3 innings pitched. Well done. A ball and a strike. The stretch. Ackerholm along, look over at first. There goes the runner. The pitch is up high. It's a ball, and the runner stops halfway between first and second. Now he's caught in a rundown, and they're going to throw to second and get the tag out there. Caleb McClellan started for some reason halfway through. I don't know if he thought he didn't have any chance or what, but he just stopped and then started back to first and then gets into the rundown. So the leadoff batter that reached for Lonestar erased in a rundown as he started to steal second base. So 1 out, the count to Gonzalez at the plate is a ball and a strike, and Ackerholm will continue to work from the stretch, but the pitch is away for a ball. So the count now 2 balls and a strike to Jonathan Gonzalez for the Denver Cougars. Boy, Christian Ackerholm really reaches up high above his head when he goes through the stretch. Pitch is swung on and driven into shallow center field. Coming on is Andre Jackson, and he'll track it down easily for the second out of the inning, 2 away. So Ackerholm works from the stretch exclusively, and when he is ready to start his stretch motion, he puts the arms extended well above his head. The glove is a couple feet above his head, it seems, and then he brings it down into position and fires away. And again, he will work from the stretch even with no runners on. He's accustomed to relieving, though. He only started 4 times in 19 appearances this past season at Temple College. Here's Matt Bathauer. First pitch to him. Low for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes to Bathauer. Christian Ackerholm from Vandergrift High School in Austin, Texas. Here's the pitch, and there for a strike taken. Fastball at 88 catches the outer half. 1 ball and 1 strike to Matt Bathauer, the left-handed hitting first baseman for Denver, whose brother Mike also plays again across the diamond over at third defensively. He's a couple batters away in the order. Pitch outside for a ball. That one at 89. It's 2 balls and a strike to Matt Bathauer. One of these teams will be 3-0 when we are through this evening. Two balls and a strike, 2 outs, nobody on, scoreless, top of the first. Here's the pitch. That one inside. And the count is now 3 balls and a strike. It's rare for this part of the country to not have any wind, but that's exactly how it's been today. Just perfect temperatures again and no clouds at all. Here's a 3-1, swung on, driven deep to right field. This was going to chase the right fielder Merriman back to the fence, and Berryman is going to try and track that one down, and it looks like it hopped over the fence for a ground rule double. Here's another look at it. You can see Bathauer got a really good piece of that one, and Merriman was playing in pretty shallow and couldn't quite get there, and then on this artificial surface it skips over the fence for a ground rule double. X Stadium at Wichita State is all artificial surface. Everything you see on this playing field is artificial surface. Here's Zeke Minnick. First pitch. Fouls it back to the screen. 0-1. It's a symmetrical ballpark. 330 down the lines, 375 to the power alleys in left and right center field, and 390 feet to straightaway center. But that pitcher's mound you see that's colored in brown, and the infield part that's brown is actually artificial surface. The warning track's the same way. No dirt on this field whatsoever. Nobody holding the runner on with 2 outs and a runner at second. Zeke Minnick at the plate. Here's the 0-1. Another one fouled back and out of play. And it's now no balls and 2 strikes. So Denver trying to draw first blood. They've got a runner in scoring position out at second base. But 2 outs here in the inning. Ackerholm stretches, delivers home. That's a slider that is in the left-handed batter's box. Nice job by Corey Schmidt behind the plate, sliding right, keeping that one from getting away. And the count's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Mike Bathauer waits on deck. Checking out his brother Matt out at second base, getting his lead. Again, nobody holding him on with 2 outs. A ball and 2 strikes in a scoreless game, top of the first inning. And Ackerholm will go through this stretch, make that long motion down from above his head to the belt, and the pitch inside for a ball. And the count is now level at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs here in the inning. Denver and Austin Lonestar just getting started in our 4th and final game of this first Monday of the 89th NBC World Series from Wichita. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs. Ackerholm is set. And here comes the 2-2 offering. Swung on foul, back to the screen. The count will hold at 2-2. Zeke Minning at 286, 2 for 7 when play starts tonight. He's played in each of the 2 games for Denver so far. 19-1, Denver has outscored their opponents so far. Again, 8-1, or excuse me, they were 8-1 in a loss to Denver, and then to the Kansas Cannons, then knocked off the SC Blues 11-0. Here's a pitch, and he took something off. Strike 3 is called, and Minnick knew it. What a beautiful pitch by Ackerholm there to retire the side. So Denver leaves one at second after the 2-out double and nothing after that. After half an inning, Denver nothing. Lonestar coming up. This is the 89th NBC World Series powered by Evergy.
Kansas, the oil and gas business is often a family business that can span generations.
We're a 4-generation Kansas oil family.
Oil and gas revenue supports our ranching and farming operations through good years and bad.
We work together as good stewards of the land.
You might be surprised to know there hasn't been 1 drop of groundwater pollution from hydraulic fracturing in Kansas over the past 40 years. Get the facts about Kansas oil and natural gas.
Oil and natural gas keeps this Kansas family
strong.
About ready for the bottom of the first inning from Wichita in a scoreless game. Austin Lonestar about to get their first crack here in the bottom of the first inning against Brian Walters. Let's run down the Austin Lonestar starting lineup. Andre Jackson will lead off. He's in center field. He'll be followed by shortstop Keaton Grady. Tony DeJesus bats third. He's at second base. Jamie Ritchie hits cleanup, and he's the designated hitter. Tilton Alley bats fifth. He's the first baseman. Corey Schmidt hits sixth. He's the catcher. Batting seventh, Ben Merriman. Merriman is in right field. Roderick Black bats eighth, and he's at third base. And batting ninth, DJ Pinkerton. Pinkerton is in left field. Again, the lineup for Lonestar: Jackson, Grady, DeJesus, Ritchie, Nally, Schmidt, Merriman, Black, and Pinkerton. And they will look at right-hander Brian Walters for the Denver Cougars as Lonestar steps up now. 2-0 in this tournament against 1-1 Denver. And Jackson will step in with a nice .429 average, 3 for 7 in this tournament. And the first pitch from Walters is outside at 87 for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes to the right-handed hitting Andre Jackson. Lights have been on for a while here at Eck Stadium, well before this game started. Not a bad crowd on hand earlier today, and we had a couple of Wichita teams playing head-to-head, or at least Wichita area, and some of them have stuck around, and of course many have traveled from different parts to see this one. Second pitch swung on and missed. The count's 1-1. Now the 1-1 is swung on and fouled back to the screen. And the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. But just a very pleasant night for baseball, and good to see the folks on hand here to catch this one. Brian Walters, right-hander, a freshman from Castle Rock, Colorado, delivers. This one swung on, and Jackson sends a towering fly ball into right field. Caleb McClellan in a few steps and over to his right, and he hauls it in for the first out of the inning. So 1 away. Brian Walters, this past season at Northeastern Junior College, made just 3 appearances on this season, 4 total innings pitched, and a 6.75 earned run average. He did strike out 3 in those 4 innings pitched. First pitch to Keaton Grady is taken for a strike. 0-1. Walters through the wind and delivers. This one is sent the other way. Slicing fly ball to left field. And Jack Deere is coming on over near the line. He's there. And he hauls it in for out number 2. Boy, he had a long way to run in and over toward the line. And Deere able to chase it down for the second out of the inning. So 2 quick outs on fly balls to center field by Jackson. To right field by Jackson. And then Keaton Grady goes to left. So here's Tony DeJesus now, the second baseman. DeJesus hitless in this World Series. He is 0 for 7, hitting out of the 3 spot, so still some confidence being shown. We'll see if that pays off. There's a strike taken. And so 2 quick strikes delivered by Walters, 0-2. Walters will work from the stretch. And here comes the 0-2. Foul back and out of play. And the count still no balls and 2 strikes. We'll start again at noon tomorrow. The GPS Legends and the Hutchinson Monarchs from right up the road northwest of Wichita. They'll get us started at 12. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on and a 2-hopper over to third. Bathauer is there. Mike throws to his brother Matt and throws wildly. And it's going to be an error on the third baseman as Mike Bathauer threw that one wild to first. So safe at first base is going to be DeJesus on what is going to be ruled E5. No question about that. And a runner at first base with 2 outs. Saw that a couple of times in the first game we had here today on the NBC YouTube channel. Throws from first that for some reason were off the mark. So Jamie Ritchie, the designated hitter, is in, and he first pitch swings and sends one high and very deep, but well foul, pulled down the line and out of play. And 0-1 to Jamie Ritchie. So Tony DeJesus is still hitless in this series, but he's on at first after reaching on the first error of the ball game. 2 outs, runner at first, bottom of the first, scoreless game. Austin Lonestar at the plate against the Denver Cougars. And Walters will stretch, look over at first, and throw this one into the turf well short of the plate. It's going to get away, and down to second base goes DeJesus. And that will be a wild pitch. That puts a runner in scoring position for Lonestar. So each team now, with 2 away, has had a runner at second base. Denver was unable to capitalize in the first inning. The top half of it, we'll see if Austin Lonestar is able to capitalize here in the bottom of the first inning. Walters checks back at second. Nobody too concerned with the runner with 2 outs. The pitch swung on and fouled back over the screen into the stands. The count is still 1 ball and 2 strikes to Jamie Ritchie. One and 2. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. A fastball and swung on and missed by Ritchie, and down he goes. So just like Denver, Austin Lonestar strands a runner at second base and wastes a scoring position opportunity. After 1, a 0-0 tie at the 89th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy.
Okay, Charles, one bill forecasting tool.
Thanks, Cheryl.
You want any weekly usage reports with that?
Oh, that sounds tempting.
It's on the house.
Oh, well, I guess I'd better. Oh, Cheryl, before I forget, can I get the mobile app to go?
Yeah, you got it.
How do you take your energy? With Evergy, you choose from our new tools and options built to work for you.
What did he order?
Evergy, the utility company.
Ready for the second inning now in a 0-0 tie. And it'll be for the Denver Cougars, Mike Bathauer, that'll get things started. And he first pitch swings and sends a one-hopper right back to Ackerholm, who fields his position atop the mound and throws to first for a very quick one away on the 1-3 putout to get inning number 2 started. Hey, we want to thank the Butler Creative TV, BCTV, for providing the stream on YouTube. These guys do a fantastic job. They're providing all the pictures and graphics from Butler Community College. And thanks to BCTV, the Butler Creative TV, for providing the YouTube stream. First pitch to Judah Wilbur, and it's inside, and it hits him. And Wilbur is going to make his way down to first base on the second hit batsman issued by Christian Ackerholm. Well, Ackerholm hit the leadoff batter, Caleb McClellan, to start the game, and now Wilbur down to first base just like that. So here's the designated hitter, Seth Lucero, in from the left side of the plate, and Ackerholm will stretch and look over at first where Wilbur is, and the offering home is a fastball at 88, but it misses away. 1 ball and no strikes to Seth Lucero, the designated hitter, who is 2 for 5 in this NBC for the 1-1 Denver Cougars. 1-0. Here's the pitch. Swung on and sent to the left side. That's going to land beyond the third base dugout over it. So the count is now 1 ball and 1 strike to Lucero. Seth Lucero playing collegiately at Youngstown State. Here's the 1-1. And that one looked pretty good, but Ackerholm did not get the benefit of the doubt. It's now 2 balls and a strike. Seth Lucero was injured this past season for much of it at Youngstown State. Only played in 2 games because of that injury. He went 0 for 2 at the plate for the entire year. The pitch swung on, foul, backing out of play, and the count's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. His sophomore season, 2022, much different. He played in 46 games and played in 46. He started 45, I should say, of those 46. 40 of his 45 starts were at short. Tonight, for Denver, he is the designated hitter. Perhaps still trying to make sure he's clear of the injury. 2-2. Here's the pitch. Outside, and the count's now full at 3-2. He's a left-handed batter out of Arvada, Colorado, very near Denver. Ackerholm goes through the stretch. A very short lead over at first for Wilbur. And a throw over to first, and Wilbur will dive in easily head first. Nothing doing over there. So the count still 3-2 at the plate. Ackerholm through this stretch with the short lead by Wilbur at first. He bluffs a move to second. Here's the pitch. Swung on and lifted. Left side, foul and out of play. So the count will stay at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Seth Lucero started his college career at Dawson Community College, where he hit .430. A .711 slugging percentage with 15 doubles, 4 triples, and 5 home runs. It's not a bad career's work in JUCO. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 4. That one was a slider, and it looked like Ackerholm was trying to feather it back to the outside edge, but it did not make it, according to Mike Lentz, the home plate umpire, and that's going to be a walk. So that'll put runners at first and second with 1 out for Jack Deere, the left fielder. So 2 hit batsmen and a walk so far through an inning and a third for Christian Ackerholm. Deere is at the plate, right-handed hitter. Here's the pitch, down and away for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. So Denver had a runner at second with 2 outs in the top of the first inning, unable to capitalize here. Runners at first and second with only 1 away. Jack Deere, the left fielder, number 8 hitter in the lineup from the right side, hoping he can take advantage. Ackerholm stretches, checks back at second. Here's the pitch. Outside corner for a strike. It's now 1-1. Tilden Alley at first base is playing even with the bag. The rest of the infield pretty much at normal depth, looking for a double play. But there's a huge hole between Nally, the first baseman, and Tony DeJesus, the second baseman, because both of them are very close to their respective bases. Pitch swung on, fouled back to the screen. And the count's 1-2. DeJesus is cheating over toward the bag just a little bit to keep Judah Wilbur honest, is the reason he's close to the bag at second, and Nally is even with the bag very close to first. Jack Deere sees a huge hole there if he's capable of going in that direction to the opposite way. A ball and 2 strikes with runners at first and second. Here's the pitch. Lifted into center field, pretty well struck. Jackson's got to go back, and he'll track it down as he reaches up over his left shoulder and makes the catch. And the runners will stay, and there's 2 outs here in the inning. Boy, that one was hit, I think, better than Jackson initially thought. He stood still, maybe even moved in just a little bit, then realized he was going to have to back up for that one on the liner to center field, but he hauled it in. The runners stay. So Wilbur still at second, Lucero still at first. 2 outs now for the number 9 hitter in the Denver order, and that's Brady Webb, the center fielder. Webb, only 3 at-bats, but he's done a good job, 2 for 3 so far. He's also scored a couple of runs and driven home 2. The stretch, the first pitch to Webb. Down low for a ball. That one off speed at 76, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. If Denver can win this game, each team will be at 2-1 in pool play. These 2 teams are in Pool A of this tournament. Here's the pitch. He tried to check his swing, but it's a strike, and the count's now 1-1. That one may have been in the zone anyway, but I think according to the home plate umpire, Mike Lency, went around nonetheless. So the count's now even at 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 on, 2 outs. Top of the second inning of a scoreless game. Denver batting against the Austin Lonestar. Christian Ackerholm stretches and fires it home, and that one just misses away. And the count is now 2 balls and 1 strike. Ackerholm has nobody guarding the bags closely. With 2 outs here in the inning, he is focused on his assignment at the plate. He delivers a slider, and boy, Brady Webb really fooled right there. Tried to check his swing again, but he clearly went around right there, and now Webb has watched the count run even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Brady Webb from Mesa State University. Finished his first year there. 2-2. Here's the pitch. That one down and away. And the count's now full at 3-2. He's out of Parker, Colorado. A right-handed hitter. The runners will be in motion here with the count full and 2 outs in a scoreless game. Top of the second inning, but Denver trying to mount a 2-out rally. So Wilbur will get his running start from second, and so will Lucero from first with a full count. There they go. Here's the 3-2 pitch, and it's outside, ball 4. As Ackerholm missed away, and the bases are now loaded. And to make matters worse for Lone Star, Denver goes back to the top of the order with Caleb McClellan. So McClellan will now step up to the plate with the bases full. He was hit by a pitch in the first inning. Here he's at the plate with him loaded in 2 outs. Ackerholm through the stretch. And the pitch to McClellan, swung on and missed. Nothing in 1 to Caleb McClellan. McClellan attended the University of St. Mary, where he hit .414 and knocked out 3 home runs this past season. Not a bad year. Sends this one the other way to right, down the line. Merriman coming in into foul ground, and he tracks it down to retire the side well into foul territory. And Denver leaves 3 aboard here in the top of the second inning. So they threaten but come up empty. And after 1.5, Denver nothing, Austin Lonestar nothing at the 89th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy.
As general manager of Mel Hamilton Ford for 11 years, I know what customers are looking for. Great service with certified technicians, a great sales experience with plenty of inventory to choose from. And don't forget, parts and other gear to take care of all your racing needs. So when you decide who you want to do business with, choose us, Mel Hamilton Ford, and experience the difference. Hey, you know what I'm always asking myself? Is work supposed to be this much fun?
On to the bottom of the second, and we go. Austin Lonestar and Denver scoreless, and it's Till Nally that'll lead things off for Austin Lonestar. First pitch swinging and sends one into foul territory. It's the shortstop for Denver, Judah Wilbur, that tracks it down a few feet into foul territory down the left field line. And Nally, one pitch, one swing, one out for Austin Lonestar here in the bottom of the second inning. So that'll get catcher Corey Schmidt up to the plate. Austin Lonestar had one base runner in the bottom of the first inning. That was Tony DeJesus, who reached on a throwing error. He advanced to second on a wild pitch. But 2 flyouts and a strikeout issued by Brian Walters. And so Austin Lonestar did not make him pay for the error. First pitch to Corey Schmidt missed away, and the count's 1-0. Here's the 1-0 in there for a strike. That one hit 90, so Brian Walters hits 90 with the fastball there, and the count's now even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Walters again working from the stretch, delivers, and this one is swung on and missed. That one at 86 as Walters took something off, and the count's now a ball and 2 strikes. Scoreless game, bottom of the second inning. Austin Lonestar trying to stay perfect in this tournament, moved to 3-0. Denver is at 1-1 right now. Here's the pitch, and that one must have been high. I think some of the Denver players and coaches in the dugout asking where that one was. Looked pretty good from here. 2 balls and 2 strikes, the count to Corey Schmidt. Right-handed hitting catcher, and he takes here. And that one was also not bad, but the count's run full at 3-2. First plate appearance for Corey Schmidt in this tournament. His first action. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 4. And so, a walk with 1 out issued to Corey Schmidt by Brian Walters. And the second base runner reaches for Austin Lonestar in Corey Schmidt. So that'll get right fielder Ben Merriman up to the plate. Merriman, a right-handed hitter, hits a hot shot, bouncer to third. This could be 2, to third for 1, to second for 1, back to first, a double play. Started by Bathauer at third. It goes 5-4-3, and just like that, Brian Walters is out of the inning. So after 2, Denver nothing, Austin Lonestar nothing at the 89th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy.
At Spirit, engineering is a key to defense success. Spirit Aerosystems engineers are leveraging commercial design-build expertise for defense programs. We move from design to development to the factory floor faster. At Spirit, engineers work with research and technology teams to develop new materials, apply factory automation, and build cost and production efficiencies into each project.
We're ready to start the third inning. Jonathan Gonzalez will lead it off for Denver. Then Matt Bathauer and Zeke Minnick, 2, 3, and 4 for Denver in a scoreless game as we start the third inning. And Christian Ackerholm's first pitch to Gonzalez misses outside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Gonzalez 0 for 1, flew out to center back in the first inning. Christian Ackerholm is now working from the windup. Here's the pitch in there for a strike, and it's 1-1. He had been working exclusively from the stretch up until now, but has decided he's going to go from the windup. Here's the 1-1. Or is it the windup? He's actually going through the same motion with that high stretch, but he's doing it facing home plate now instead of with his back to first base facing third. 2-1. So I guess essentially it still could be considered a stretch. The pitch down and away, 3-1. We'll take a look at the footwork and see what the leg kick looks like. This is absolutely a windup. Here's the pitch outside, ball 4. Now he'll go back to the stretch. So similar motions, but obviously the footwork indicates it's a windup there. But it starts off looking like a stretch. However, the important thing here is he's walked the leadoff batter, Jonathan Gonzalez, to start the third. So here's Matt Bathauer now, who doubled back in the first inning. And now Ackerholm will stretch facing third. The pitch outside for a ball, 1-0. Matt Bathauer, a ground rule double in the first inning. He hit one well to right. It was over Ben Merriman's head, and then it bounced over the fence for a ground rule 2-bagger, but Bathauer was stranded at second when Zeke Minnick, who's on deck now, struck out to end the inning. Here's the pitch outside. That one was a fastball, but it missed away at 87, and now Ackerholm has fallen behind in the count 2-0. So he's walked the leadoff batter and then made matters a little bit worse, fallen behind in the count here, 2 balls, no strikes. He'll have to come with something good here. And Bathauer knows that, so here's the stretch and the 2-0. Way Bathauer was swinging for the fences there, comes up empty at 88 on a fastball, and the count's now 2 balls and a strike. Ackerholm stretches, fires home at 87. That one misses away. Corey Schmidt can't find it initially. Now he tracks it down. Runner at first not going anywhere. And the count is now 3 balls and a strike to Matt Bathauer, who played collegiately this past season at Adams State. 3-1. Ackerholm stretches, fires, outside again, ball 4. So Christian Ackerholm, trouble here in this inning. as he has walked each of the first two batters he's faced. Gonzalez down to second base on the walk to Bathauer. So first and second for Denver now. Nobody out for Zeke Minnick, and that's going to start a conversation out on the mound for Austin Lonestar. And it looks like Lonestar also has a relief pitcher warming up down in the bullpen. And this is really not the part of the order where you want to be doing this either. Zeke Minnick is the cleanup hitter for Denver, then Mike Bathauer after that. What Lonestar desperately needs here is a double play that would help put the fire out, but there's first and second right now with nobody out, so they need a lot of help. Lonestar has won their two games by a combined score of 12-1. So here's Zeke Minnick, the catcher now, as Denver tries to draw first blood. Åkerholm will go through this stretch, and the first pitch swung on and missed. And it's no balls and a strike to Zeke Minnick, who was caught looking to end the top half of the first inning. Till Nally playing even with the bag at first. The rest of the infield at normal depth as Austin Lonestar looks for the double play. Åkerholm stretches, checks back at second, and here comes the 0-1. Line drive, left field, that's a base hit. Played on a couple of hops, they're going to wave the runner around third, and the relay throw will not be in time. It's an RBI single for Zeke Minnick, and Denver has drawn first blood. It's 1-0, Cougars with the lead. Well, Minnick hit that so hard, you wondered if they were going to send Jonathan Gonzalez from second base home, and they did. And Gonzalez, well, he showed us why. He runs with really good speed, and so he beat out what really was a good relay throw as well. But Denver is on the board. It's 1-0. Matt Bathauer, by the way, stopped at second base. So still first and second with nobody out as Mike Bathauer is up there now. And the first pitch to Mike Bathauer is in for a strike, and it's 0-1. Bathauer bounced back to the pitcher in the second inning. He's 0 for 1. Åkerholm stretches. Now a double play will get him out of the inning, but his team has surrendered a run so far. The next pitch misses for a ball, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike to Mike Bathauer. Matt Bathauer gets his lead at second. Short lead at first for Minnick. He's standing right behind the first baseman, Till Nally, who's not guarding the bag. Here's the pitch. Slider down and away. And the count now, 2 balls and 1 strike. Mike Bathauer also played collegiately at Adams State, although he was there for 4 years from 20 to 23, so he is through unless he takes advantage of the COVID year because 20 was his first season. Pitch swung on, fouled, back to the screen, 2-2, and that's why he only played in 16 games in 2020. So he's got 3+ seasons at Adams State. Wondering if he'll go back for a 4th. Boy, did he have a whopper of a year this season. He hit .416 this past year at Adams State. Did Mike Bathauer. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 on. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled, backing out of play. That one's going to land on top of the press box, and the count is still 2-2. Still no wind tonight here in Wichita. The flag in right field completely still. That's a rarity for South Central Kansas, but it's been that way virtually all day long. When the game started, temperatures in the low 80s, probably dipped into the 70s by now. 2-2. Åkerholm stretches and fires. Took something off, and the pitch swung on and missed. And there is the first out of the inning, and boy, was that a big one, as Åkerholm delivers a slider, and you can see Bathauer swung and whiffed So a big out number one. Now here's Judah Wilbur, who was hit by a pitch back in the second inning. Ackerholm stretches. And here comes the first pitch to Wilbur. Wilbur wanted to go, and he went far enough for a strike. It's 0-1. Another off-speed pitch and a good one by Ackerholm. Well, if Austin Lonestar can get out of this inning having only given up a run, that would be considered a big moral victory for them, because there was first and second with nobody out. A run has scored, but now first and second with one out and a double play could get Lone Star out of the inning. Here's the 0-1. A soft little liner into shallow left field. That's going to get down. That'll be a base hit. They will not send the runner now around third because that one was even shallower in left field, and DJ Pinkerton had all of his momentum moving toward home if he wanted to fire at home. But a good job by Wilbur that time, just reaching out and making contact and punching one into shallow left. So Matt Bathauer is now at third. Zeke Minnick is at second after Judah Wilbur's one-out single. They are loaded for Seth Lucero, the designated hitter. Still only one out in the inning, and Lucero first pitch swings and sends one over the bullpen down the left field line foul. It's 0-1. Lucero walked in the second inning, so no official at bat for him tonight. He was 2 for 5 when play started, and that's still what he is. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and sent to left field. Pretty well struck. Backing up is Pinkerton and to his left. This is deep enough as it's caught to score the run. Here comes Bathauer home from third to score. So Lucero gets the sacrifice fly to left. Second out of the inning, but Bathauer scores the second run of the inning for Denver. And the Cougars have taken a 2-0 lead. That's a nice job by Lucero to just go the other way and hit it hard enough and deep enough to get the run home. So here's Jack Deere now, the number 8 hitter in the lineup, and the first pitch nearly got away from Corey Schmidt. Boy, that's a nice job of stopping that one, keeping runners from advancing. So 1 ball and no strikes to Deere, who flew out to center back in the second inning. So he is 0 for 1. Ackerholm stretches, delivers, chopped at the plate, foul. That was a fastball at 86, and Deere just barely got a piece of it, but enough. And the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Jack Deere is yet another of these Denver Cougars that played his college baseball at Adams State University this past season, where he hit .481. Now, that was just in 27 at-bats, but hey, you can't fault him. He responded almost half the time he was at the plate. 13 for 27 this season. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled down the first base side, but the first baseman has a play, and now he tracks it down near the end of the first base dugout, and this side is retired. So 2 score in the half inning for Denver, but 2 are left on. And after 2.5, it's Denver 2, Austin Lone Star nothing at the 89th NBC World Series powered by Evergy.
And I have had a student in this very class. Jay was drawing something up.
Well, Austin Lonestar has spotted Denver 2 as we start the bottom of the third inning. Roderick Black will lead off for Lonestar, and the third baseman watches the first pitch. It's a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Black, DJ Pinkerton, then back to the top of the order with Andre Jackson, 8-9-1 for Austin Lonestar here in the third as Black takes a strike, and the count's now even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Brian Walters in at 89 miles an hour on that pitch. So the count is even at 1-1. Walters ready, delivers, and a big swing and a big miss by Black that time. Another one at 89, and the count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes to Roderick Black. Wide open stance, and he hits a hot shot, and that's off the legs of Walters, and it caroms into foul territory all the way over by the first base coach's box. Boy, that was a screamer. It would be interesting to know what the exit velocity was there, and that's going to get the coach and the medical staff out of the Denver dugout in a hurry to make sure Brian Walters is fine. He appears to be so far. He's just been walking around, and he still is without a limp up to the top of the mound. But boy, that one was quite a shot by Roderick Black, and it hit somewhere on the lower leg of Brian Walters, and again, it caromed all the way into foul territory over by the first base coach's box. So it'll be a base hit for Roderick Black. And if that wasn't bad enough for Walters, he paid the price by getting hit hard in the legs. But it appears as if he's okay. So that's the first time the leadoff hitter has been aboard for Lonestar this evening, and DJ Pinkerton, the left fielder, steps in now with a runner at first. And nobody out. Walters will peer over his left shoulder out of the stretch. Pinkerton showing bunt, and he pops it up over toward the third base dugout, and it's going to hit the netting over by the dugout. That's a break for Pinkerton, as that is not what he wanted to do. A, hit it foul, and B, pop it up. So it's 0-1 to Pinkerton. We'll see if he's got the bunt sign again and if he's able to get it down on the turf. 0-1. Walters through the stretch, looks over at first. Here's a pitch, and Pinkerton not showing bunt, and he takes for a strike. And now the count is 0-2, and most likely so much for the sacrifice situation here. The 0-2 swung on and missed, strike 3. Snap throw to first was close. Black was diving back around the swipe tag attempt by Matt Bathauer, and he nearly got picked off at first. But that is the first out of the inning, and not a good at bat for DJ Pinkerton. Asked to bunt on the first pitch and popped it up foul. Took strike 2 and then goes down on 3 pitches with a runner still at first base. Here's Andre Jackson now back to the top of the order. First pitch. And that one was a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Andre Jackson popped out to right his first time up in the bottom of the first inning. The 1-0 outside corner for a strike, and it's 1-1. 2-0. Denver with the lead. A 2 spot for the Cougars in the top of the third inning. They've picked up 3 hits. Austin Lonestar scoreless on 1 hit. A ball and a strike with 1 out, runner at first. Here's the pitch. There goes the runner. Pitch swung on and missed. Down to second base, though, goes Roderick Black without a throw, as Black got a very good jump. That was also an off-speed pitch, so a good one to steal on for Lonestar. And Roderick Black is now down at second base. That is his second stolen base of the tournament in as many attempts. 10 stolen bases for Lonestar in this NBC. We're through 2 games plus change. Here's the pitch. Slider swung on and missed, and down goes Andre Jackson. That's the 3rd strikeout by Brian Walters, and boy, did he need that one with a runner at second base. Now 2 away. for Keaton Grady, the shortstop. 2 of the 3 strikeouts for Walters have come in this inning. In fact, it's been to back-to-back hitters, DJ Pinkerton and Andre Jackson. First pitch to Keaton Grady, taken. It's a strike, 0-1. Runner at second, 2 away. 2-0 Denver, but Austin Lonestar with a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Fastball at 87, misses outside. Count now level at 1 ball and 1 strike. We are at X Stadium, the home of Wichita State University, on a gorgeous early August night for baseball. Here's the 1-1. Fastball. That one hit 90, so Brian Walters hits 90 with that one. Missed outside, though, and the count's 2-1. I think that's the first time he's hit 90 on the radar gun tonight. 2 balls and a strike. Looks back at second. Dancing around there is Roderick Black, and here's the pitch. And that one is a ball. Ball 3, 3-1. Tony DeJesus waits on deck. But it's up to Keaton Grady if DeJesus will hit this inning. Here's the pitch. Swung on, bouncing ball deep over at second. Sliding into deep right, shallow right field is going to be Gonzalez, and he can't come up with it. Runner rounding third, and Black is going to slide home safely on an RBI single for Keaton Grady. And Austin Lonestar has cut the deficit in half now. It's 2-1. Well, Jonathan Gonzalez was playing out in the outfield. He was playing in what, if it were dirt, would be in the outfield grass, but since we're not on a dirt or grass field, we'll say he was playing in the green turf, which normally we would designate as the outfield. He was playing deep to begin with, had to slide to his left there on the hard hit ground ball, but couldn't come up with it cleanly. First pitch is a strike into Tony DeJesus, 0-1. Then it caromed off of his glove. Easy score for Roderick Burns, running on contact from second, and he's got very good speed anyway. Here's the pitch. There goes the runner. The pitch is a strike, and the throw down to second is not in time. So a stolen base now for Keaton Grady, and he is in scoring position. So Austin Lonestar now playing some small ball here. A couple of steals in the inning after a couple of singles. They've scored 1, and now Keaton Grady in scoring position with 2 outs. The count is 0-2 to DeJesus. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Close. And the count's now 1-2. Not sure if that was a little high or maybe inside or maybe a little bit of both, according to Mike Lentz. It didn't miss by much either way, and the count's now 1-2. Walters through the stretch, fires the 1-2, or excuse me, there was a swing. And he foul-tipped it into the glove. I beg your pardon, there were not 2 strikes before that pitch. Now there are. So now the count is a ball and 2 strikes, and here's the pitch. Change up, and that one down. And the count's now 2-2. That one dropped all the way down to 73 miles an hour. So deuces are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at second. And actually that was ball 3, so the count's 3-2. Scoreboard's a little off here. Here's the 3-2, swung on in line, foul down the right side, out of play. And the count holds at 3 balls and 2 strikes to Tony DeJesus. Second baseman for Austin Lonestar, who was 0 for 7 coming into play tonight. Reached on an error, though, his first time up. So he's 0 for 8, but he got on the bases, and he's trying to do it again here. He'll chop one. Going to be a tough play. Up the third base side. Bathauer fields. Fires to first to his brother just in the nick of time. A 5-3 putout. Mike Bathauer to Matt Bathauer. Retires the side. Austin Lonestar strands one at second, but they score 1. And after 3, it's Denver 2, Austin 1 at the 89th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy.
At Davis Moore, we treat everyone who walks through our doors like a lifelong customer. Our sales team prides themselves on delivering a quick, pressure-free buying experience that you won't find anywhere else. We have hundreds of new and pre-owned vehicles in stock, and every one of them has passed our 171-point safety and reliability inspection.
If we wouldn't buy it for ourselves, we won't sell it to you. Come see us at any Davis Moore location or check us out online at davis-moore.com.
There's a bench now pitching to Lonestar. Number 5, E.J. Garcia. Leading off on by the fourth inning, middle fielder number 3, Brady Webb.
Well, we start the fourth inning, and a new pitcher is on for Austin Lonestar, E.J. Garcia, and the right-hander's first pitch to Brady Webb is fouled. And the count to Webb is no balls and a strike. 2-1, Denver with a lead over Austin Lone Star as we begin inning number 4. And Brady Webb's second pitch he sees from Garcia misses for a ball. And the count is now 1 ball and 1 strike to Brady Webb. Garcia ready and delivers a strike taken, and the count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes. E.J. Garcia is from San Antonio. Played collegiately at Incarnate Word, which is also in San Antonio. Here's the pitch, swung on and fouled, backing out of play. And the count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes to Brady Webb. Here's the pitch. Webb sends this one on the ground to second base, fielded by Tony DeJesus, who fires to first in time and plenty of time for a 4-3 putout and 1 away. So back to the top of the order we go now with Caleb McClellan. E.J. Garcia, 5'9". He just finished his freshman season a couple of months ago at Incarnate Word. I mentioned he's a right-hander, and the first pitch is a slider swung on and missed by Caleb McClellan. No balls and a strike to McClellan. Here's the pitch as Garcia works quickly, swung on, fly ball, shallow right field. Second baseman DeJesus is going to go out, and he's going to make the catch. So Tony DeJesus has been involved in both putouts here in the fourth inning. A ground ball hit his way that he threw to first for an assist, and he catches a pop-up in shallow right field down the line from Caleb McClellan. So 2 outs in the inning now for Jonathan Gonzalez, the second baseman. And Gonzalez takes outside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. The pitch, this one close. Misses again, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Gonzalez is from Brawley, California. E.J. Garcia ready and delivers, and another one misses, and the count's now 3-0. So 3 quick balls for E.J. Garcia, and again, he works very quickly. Here comes the pitch. The 3-0 is in there, and it's now 3-1. Boy, E.J. Garcia catches the ball from his catcher, almost towing the rubber already, and immediately starts his windup. Here's the 3-1, feathered in there nicely, a slider at 78, and the count's now 3-2. You don't have much time to do much of anything against E.J. Garcia. And another slider. This one misses. Down and away, ball 4. So that'll be a 2-out walk, and Jonathan Gonzalez heads down to first base. And for the second time tonight, he's been issued a free pass. So Matt Bathauer is up with a runner at first and 2 away. 2-1, Denver leading Austin Lone Star in this top of the fourth inning. First pitch to Bathauer, swung on and missed. Behind in the count, 0-1. Bathauer walked and scored in the third inning. Denver scored each of their 2 runs in the last inning. The pitch down low for a ball, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. 4 more games tomorrow here at this 89th NBC World Series as we move towards the conclusion at the end of the week. 1-1. Here's the pitch. He barely got a piece of it in Bathauer and fouled it back to the screen. So the count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes. In fact, tomorrow is the final day of pool play. 1-2. Here comes the pitch to Bathauer. That one inside. It did not hit him. It almost did. It does, though, carry him all the way back to the backstop and down to second base goes Jonathan Gonzalez on what is going to be a wild pitch. Boy, that one really got away from Corey Schmidt behind the dish. Not much he could do about that. So 2-2 to Bathauer now with a runner at second and 2 outs. Here's the pitch up high and away. And the count is now full at 3-2. I mentioned earlier that tomorrow at noon, it'll be the GPS Legends and Hutchinson Monarchs. Our 3 o'clock game tomorrow will be Sandlot Tulsa and the Santa Barbara Foresters. Here's the pitch. There's strike 3. Nicely done by Garcia to get out of the inning as Houston strands a runner at second base. And they've done that in each of the 4 innings so far. They come up empty, and after 3.5, it's Denver 2, Austin Lonestar 1 at the 89th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy.
At Evergy, we're focused not just on what we power, but on who we power, right here in our community. We provide payment assistance to our neighbors who need it. Invest in organizations and people, creating opportunity for all to benefit. And volunteer our time around our hometown so that together we improve it. Because we're committed to spreading good energy throughout our community. Evergy, the utility company.
To the bottom of the 4th inning we go, and we may have a time clock violation to get us started. It looks like we do, as Jamie Ritchie, the designated hitter for Austin Lonestar, was not ready in the box when the 90-second timer expired between half innings. So Ritchie just took a strike, but he's down 0-2 because of the violation when the clock expired. So it's no balls and 2 strikes. And now the 0-2 to Ritchie. And did he check his swing? He did on the appeal, so it's now 1 ball and 2 strikes. That time clock is at 90 seconds between half innings. The pitcher has to be ready when it expires. Hitter's got to be in the box and ready. Here's the pitch. Down and away, it's 2-2. If the pitcher's not ready, then it's called a ball automatically. If the hitter's not ready, then they're issued with a strike before they've even seen a pitch. 2 balls and 2 strikes here, and the pitch to Ritchie. Off-speed pitch, and Ritchie was really fooled, and down he goes. And, boy, he just looked all out of sorts from the beginning right there, starting with the time violation, and never really found himself after that. So a strikeout for Brian Walters to start the bottom of the 4th inning, and 1 away for Till Nally. First pitch to Nally, hot shot right back up the middle, and that will be a base hit. Well, Nally was first pitch swinging his first time up and popped one out to short. He's aggressive here again, and it pays off up the middle with a 1-out single. So Nally on at first for Corey Schmidt, the catcher. Schmidt walked his first time up. Trying to move Till Nally around, who gets his lead at first. Walter stretches. Here's the pitch. Fastball outside half at 90 again. And Brian Walters is ahead in the count, 0-1. At least the second time Walters has hit 90 this evening with a fastball. Here's the 0-1. Swung on, ground ball to the hole at short. They're going to try to get the lead runner at second, and they do. Nicely done by Judah Wilbur. Ranging to his right, deep in the hole, and that was really the only option he had based on his momentum moving toward the left field line, was to go the short route to second, and he had just enough mustard on it. And Nally was retired 6-4 on the putout. Second out of the inning. Corey Schmidt reaches on the fielder's choice. First pitch to Ben Merriman is taken for a ball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Merriman grounded into that tailor-made 5-4-3 double play to end the bottom of the second inning. Here's the pitch, in there for a strike. And the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike to Merriman. Big right-handed hitting. Right fielder for Austin Lonestar. And that time Walters took something off in a swing and a miss. And it's now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Boy, Merriman really crowds that front part of the batter's box with an open stance. Here's the 1-2. Chopped foul at the plate. He's up at the very front line of the batter's box that's parallel with the side of home plate. And his back foot is on the very back line, but then his front foot is only about a foot away from the front of the line, so it's a wide open stance. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and lifted out toward short. Judah Wilbur calls. He's got it, and the side retired. So Austin Lonestar picks up a 1-out single, and then a runner reaches after that, but that's it. And we'll go to the 5th inning. Denver 2, Austin Lonestar 1 at the 89th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy.
Have you ever needed to stop or change the way you do something you love because of aches, pains, or injury? The physical therapists at NovaCare are here to get you back to work, life, and your favorite activities. Most importantly, your goals are their goals. Their movement experts will listen and develop an individualized treatment plan so you can heal. Begin care faster by requesting an appointment today at novacare.com. Experience the power of physical therapy at NovaCare.
We've got a good one tonight from Wichita as we start the 5th inning. Zeke Minnick starts it off for Denver, and he takes the first pitch from E.J. Garcia. It's called a strike, 0-1. 2-1, Austin trailing the Denver Cougars, and here's the pitch, another one for a strike, and it's 0-2. So E.J. Garcia working quickly and quickly ahead in the count. No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and that one is ripped into left field. That will be a base hit. Well, it might be a matter of timing for these Denver hitters to get adjusted and just be ready quickly for the quick-moving E.J. Garcia. Minnick took a couple of quick strikes there, and then on the third one just let her rip and sends one into left field for a base hit. So the leadoff batter aboard for Denver here in the top of the 5th inning, and Mike Bathauer is in now. He is 0 for 2 on the night. He has bounced back to the pitcher and struck out. Garcia ready, and a fastball at 85 outside to the right-handed hitter. No, 1 ball and no strikes. E.J. Garcia appeared in 13 games this past season for Incarnate Word. Here's a pitch, bouncing ball out to second, or to short, excuse me. They'll go to second for 1. Back to first, a double play. Keaton Grady, nicely done, backhanding it in the hole at short, then fired to second for 1, and a good relay by DeJesus for a 6-4-3, and just like that, base runners erased for Denver here in the top of the 5th inning. Well, that's one of the advantages to this artificial surface if you're a defense, is the ball gets to you so quickly. First pitch swinging, Judah Wilbur sends one high and foul over toward the netting on the first base side, and Schmidt can't quite come up with it. He was battling with the net there and the padding in the wall and had room to make the catch, but also had to take his eye off the ball, you would think, to look at where he was, and he couldn't quite hang on. But back to the point, this is an all-artificial surface field, and you'll see infielders play a lot deeper because they can afford to. The ball gets to them so quickly, and that can certainly help in situations like we saw on the last play when you're trying to turn a double play. The pitch to Wilbur swung on and fouled, backing out of play. And Judah Wilbur is quickly down on the count now, no balls and 2 strikes. A base hit and hit by a pitch. Here he bounces one to third, and it's mishandled by Black at third, and it trickles out into shallow left field. And that's going to get Judah Wilbur aboard. And the question is, will that be a hit or an error? Looked like it was playable for Black over at third. But again, that turf, the ball just scoots to you so quickly. That could give a scorer the benefit of the doubt, but it is going to be an E5. So an E5 as Wilbur reaches base. He's on at first. So here's Seth Lucero now, first pitch swinging, and he sends one the other way. Pretty well struck, but to left field and playable for DJ Pinkerton, and Pinkerton tracks it down, and the side retired. So a double play looms large for Denver in this half inning after they got 2 runners aboard. And after 4.5, it's Denver 2, Austin Lonestar 1 at the 89th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy.
Here. All right, so we got a slice of outage alerts, heavy on the details for Jim.
It's fine.
All right. Take it easy, Jim. Order up for Mia. Choose your rate plan, no cheese.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, here you go. Thank you, you too. 1 mobile app because you're always on the go for Anthony. How's it going, Mel?
How do you take your energy? With Evergy, you choose from our new tools and options built to work for you. Evergy, the utility company.
On to the bottom of the 5th inning now. Roderick Black will lead off for Austin Lonestar. His team trails 2-1. And the first pitch from Brian Walters is a fastball at 85 that's in for a strike. 0-1. Roderick Black, DJ Pinkerton, Andre Jackson, 8-9-1 for Lonestar here. And Black sends one through on the left side. That'll be a base hit between short and third. He's going to round first and head for second. A head first slide, and he's out at second base. And Black can't believe it. It's going to go 7-6-4 as Black tried to catch the defense napping right there, and he nearly beat the throw out to second base on a headfirst slide. Well, he was really showing some aggression right there, and looking at the replay, you almost wonder if he got his right hand in. It won't matter. Now first pitch swinging is DJ Pinkerton, and he bounces one to third for a 5-3 putout. and 2 very quick outs for Brian Walters here in the inning. So Black is retired 7-6-4, trying to stretch a single into a double, and DJ Pinkerton just grounded out. That's 2 pitches and 2 outs here in the inning. So back to the top of the order very quickly, and it's Andre Jackson now. And the first pitch to Jackson is inside for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Jackson has flied out and he has struck out, so an 0-for-2 night for him. Brian Walters, the stretch and the pitch, chopped foul over toward the third base dugout. And the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Each team with 4 hits. We've got a good one tonight, as I mentioned. The run column only separated by 1. 2 for Denver, 1 for Austin Lone Star. Here's the 1-1 pitch, down and away at 79 miles an hour. 2 balls and a strike, the count to Andre Jackson. Andre Jackson from Elgin, Texas, and played collegiately at West Texas A&M up in Canyon. And the 2-1 is ripped into center field. That will be a base hit. So Jackson is aboard. He's on at first base. So 2 really well-struck balls for Austin Lone Star, but they've only got 1 base runner to show for it right now with 2 outs because Roderick Black, tried to stretch a single into a double. Runner at first, 2 away for Keaton Grady, and now this one gets away behind the plate from Minnick, and down to second base goes Jackson. Well, that was a fastball, and Minnick just had no chance, and so down to second base goes Jackson. And you start to wonder what this inning might be had Roderick Black not opted to try to go to second base. But it's really hard to sit there and criticize him. He was being aggressive with the mentality. He's got very good speed, and Denver was a little casual fielding that ball out. He hit to left field and getting it back to the relay man. And also you've got to factor in this is a low-scoring game, and you've got base runners at a minimum in this contest. So I like the aggressiveness by Black. And again, the replay that I saw, you almost wonder if maybe he did slip the right hand in there, but he was called out. It just also hurt because there was nobody out at the time. And not only was he out, but DJ Pinkerton was on the very next pitch. Runner at second, though, so still a chance for something to happen. There goes the runner to third. The pitch is up high, and a stolen base for Andre Jackson, who just swiped third base. Well, the third baseman, Mike Bathauer, was not playing near the bag, and on top of that, Jackson got a terrific jump. He's at third. 2 balls and no strikes to Grady, and here's the pitch in there for a strike at 86. And it's now 2-1. Andre Jackson is going to score on a single anyway, but if there's a wild pitch or a pass ball, that move to third now ties the score. Here's the pitch, high and away for a ball. And the count is 3 balls and a strike to Keaton Grady. Grady is 1 for 2. He is singled and he is flied out. His single came in the third inning, though, when he also picked up an RBI for it. He stole a base that inning as well. Here's the pitch inside. It almost hit him, and it did. Well, Grady tried to bail out of the way, and initially I thought he did. There was no motion by the home plate umpire, but I think down from the vantage point they had, it must have been pretty obvious. A hit batsman. Grady's fine, and he's on at first base. So Tony DeJesus will step up now with the tying run at third, the go-ahead run at first. There are 2 outs here in the inning, and the first pitch to DeJesus is outside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. 2-1 Denver with the lead, but Austin Lone Star with runners at the corners and 2 away. And here comes the pitch, and a fastball misses outside, that one at 82. So Walters may have actually thrown a little off speed right there. It looked a lot quicker than that. There goes the runner from first. The pitch is outside, the throw down to second, and it's going to be a stolen base. Staying at third base was Andre Jackson, but another stolen base. They actually called that pitch a strike, so it's 2-1, but a stolen base, the second of the inning. So Tony DeJesus now with 2 in scoring position and a 2-1 count in his favor. Here's the pitch, way outside, ball 3. And now the count is 3-1. So all of a sudden, not only is the tying run at third, but a single to the outfield can give Austin Lonestar the lead with the go-ahead run potentially down at second base. 3-1, here's the pitch. Outside, ball 4. And now they are loaded up with Austin Lonestar players for the cleanup hitter, Jamie Ritchie. So what an opportunity this is for Ritchie. Again, they are loaded, but 2 outs here in the inning in a 1-run game. With 1 swing of the bat, Ritchie can change that. Here's the first pitch. Off speed and in there at 68 for a strike. Ritchie's last at bat was not a good one. He had that time violation because he wasn't ready to step in and never really mounted much of an effort after that. 0-1. Here's the pitch, and that one outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. He made 17 appearances for Incarnate Word this past season. Ritchie did 12 starts, had 15 hits. A ball and a strike with the bases loaded. Here comes the pitch. Boy, Walters pulled the string there, and Ritchie went after it and came up empty. And the count's now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Runners get their leads. Working from the stretch is Walters. Jackson at third, Grady at second, DeJesus at first. Here's the 1-2 pitch, line drive, left field line, hooking and foul. Ritchie was just a little bit out in front of that one, and it landed about 2 feet foul down the line and left. And that is a tough break for Austin Lonestar because that might well have scored all 3 and cleared the bases. Instead, everybody has to retreat. There's activity down in the Denver bullpen. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Another one similar location, but a little further foul. Not much question about that one. And the count is a ball and 2 strikes. There is a left-handed pitcher warming up down in the Denver bullpen. You start to wonder if this is going to be the end of the line for Brian Walters, regardless of whether he makes it out of this inning or not. He'll stretch. Nobody holding the runners on with 2 outs. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That one is down and low, and it stopped well by Minnick. And boy, Andre Jackson started home when he saw that one bounce in, almost broke, and then almost got caught off the bag too far at third when he tried to retreat. Zeke Minnick did not throw down. So the count is now 2 balls and 2 strikes. So the runners will get their leads again. Here comes the 2-2 offering. Lifted left field right at Jack Deere, who barely had to move. He makes the catch, and the side retired. Austin Lonestar leaves him loaded. So we'll go to the 6th inning with a score still Denver 2 and Austin Lonestar 1 at the 89th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy.
In Kansas, the oil and gas business is often a family business that can span generations.
We're a 4-generation Kansas oil family.
Oil and gas revenue supports our ranching and farming operations through good years and bad.
We work together as good stewards of the land.
You might be surprised to know there hasn't been 1 drop of groundwater pollution from hydraulic fracturing in Kansas over the past 40 years. Get the facts about Kansas oil and natural gas.
Oil and natural gas keeps this Kansas family
strong.
Well, Jack Deere caught the final out of the bottom of the 5th inning, leads off the top of the 6th, swinging and missing against E.J. Garcia, and it's 0-1 in a 2-1 Denver game as we start inning number 6. Garcia to Deere, and Deere bounces this one foul outside the bag at third. And quickly, Garcia ahead in the count, 0-2. And everything about E.J. Garcia is quick. No balls and 2 strikes, and even after a foul ball, ready to go again. The 0-2 swung on and missed, strike 3, and just like that, a quick 1 out here to start the top of the 6th inning. Austin Lonestar has out-hit Denver 5-4. But the stat that matters is the run column, and there it's Denver 2. And Austin Lonestar 1. Here's Brady Webb now. 0 for 1 night. Hot shot, 1 hopper over to third. Fielded well by Black. Throws to first in time. There's a 5-3 putout and 2 away. Boy, Roderick Black had a smash, and that's why they call it the hot corner. That one was hit very hard, and especially on this turf. He made it look much, much easier than that really was. So 2 outs now for Caleb McClellan, the right fielder. And he takes down and in for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Yeah, sometimes defensively this quick turf can help you, but sometimes it makes things a little trickier as the pitch in there for a strike. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. And the 1-1 tipped at the plate, and it's now 1-2. It can help you. You can play a little deeper, have better opportunities to play deeper and turn double plays, but sometimes the ball gets to you so quickly. But to Black's credit, that didn't bother him there. He reacted well on the short hop. Pitch chopped at the plate, foul. E.J. Garcia working from the windup with nobody on and 2 outs. Here's the pitch, swung on and fouled back to the screen. And the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. McClellan has been hit by a pitch, but a couple of pop-outs other than that. He's due, but it won't happen here. There's a drop third strike, but the put out by Schmidt to Nally at first goes 2-3, and the side retired. A very quick 1-2-3 for Denver in the top of the 6th inning. After 5.5, the score still Denver 2, Austin Lonestar 1 at the 89th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy.
Okay, Charles, 1 bill forecasting tool.
Thanks, Cheryl.
You want any weekly usage reports with that?
Oh, that sounds tempting.
It's on the house.
Oh, well, I guess I'd better. Oh, Cheryl, before I forget, can I get the mobile app to go?
Yeah, you got it.
How do you take your energy? With Evergy, you choose from our new tools and options built to work for you.
What did he order?
Evergy, the utility company.
On to the bottom of the 6th inning now, and a new pitcher for Denver is on, and it's left-hander Augustine Sanchez, a 6'2", 205-pounder out of Denver and attending Dakota Wesleyan. And Sanchez is on in relief to start the bottom half of inning number 6. Till Nally is the first man he'll face, who has first pitch swung in each of his first 2 at-bats. And he takes a strike here, and it's 0-1 to Nally. Nally, Corey Schmidt, and Ben Merriman, 5, 6, and 7 for Austin Lonestar, trailing by the score of 2-1 in the bottom half of inning number 6. And Nally sends this one to center field. Pretty well struck. Back on his horse is going to be Brady Webb, and Webb can't get there, and Nally is going to stop at second base. Boy, that one just kept carrying, and Webb had his back to the infield trying to chase that one down and just couldn't get there and squeeze it in, and Nally has an extra base hit. Webb was playing fairly shallow and looked like he might have gotten a glove on it. In fact, he did, but that's going to be a base hit. Just a really tough play for Webb in center field. So Nally is on at second base with his second hit of the night. And here's Corey Schmidt, and Schmidt sends the first offering foul. Out of play, 0-1 to Schmidt. It's 390 feet to straightaway center field, and Nally didn't challenge that, but the point being, I think that maybe Webb was playing a little more shallow than what Denver was expecting Nally to hit the ball right there, because he had a long way to go and just couldn't quite get there in time. Another one fouled back to Corey Schmidt. The count's now no balls and 2 strikes to Schmidt. And the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, bouncing ball out to short on 3 hops. Judah Wilbur will throw to first in time after looking the runner back to second. And there's one away. So 1 out now for Ben Merriman. Merriman is 0 for 2. He's grounded into a double play, and he's popped out just short, and he takes a strike here, and the count is no balls and a strike. Here's the pitch, and this one popped up and flown to right field. Backing up a little bit is going to be McClellan. He'll get under it and make the catch. The runner, though, is going to tag and head down to third and get there safely. So Merriman is going to fly out to right. That's the second out of the inning, but it was deep enough to get Nally down to third base. So with 2 outs, a runner at third for Lonestar. And now here's Roderick Black. Lonestar really challenged to at least tie, if not take the lead in the last inning. They were unable to. Can they here? Doesn't look that way. Black first pitch swings. Bounce moves 1 to short. And it's going to be Wilbur throwing on 1 hop over to first in time for a 6-3 putout, and the side retired. And Austin Lonestar cannot capitalize. We still have a 1-run game. We go to the 7th. Denver 2, Austin Lonestar 1 at the 89th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy.
As general manager of Mel Hamilton Ford for 11 years, I know what customers are looking for. Great service with certified technicians, a great sales experience with plenty of inventory to choose from. And don't forget, parts and other gear to take care of all your racing needs. So when you decide who you want to do business with, choose us, Mel Hamilton Ford, and experience the difference. Hey, you know what I'm always asking myself? Is work supposed to be this much fun?
Ready to start the top of inning number 7. Jonathan Gonzalez is in against the pitcher for Austin Lonestar, E.J. Garcia. 2 quick pitches for Garcia, both of them balls, 2 balls and no strikes. Also a new left fielder, Josh Zapata, in at left for Austin Lonestar. Garcia's third pitch in there, a strike, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. 2-1 Denver has the lead. Top of the 7th inning. Here's the 2-1 to Gonzalez, and it's taken outside, and the count's now 3-1. E.J. Garcia came on in the 4th inning. He's been very good. No runs have scored on him. after relieving Christian Ackerholm, who went through the first 3. The pitch swung on and popped up, shallow right field. It's the second baseman, Tony DeJesus, backing up a few steps, and he'll catch it for the first out of the inning, and 1 away. But in a tournament like this, it really becomes a battle of attrition with your pitching staffs, and both teams have done themselves favors here with how little they've had to use their bullpens this evening. First pitch now to Matt Bathauer. Taken. It's a strike, 0-1 at 81. E.J. Garcia ready again. Here's the 0-1. Sliced into left field. Moving over to his right is Pinkerton a few steps and maybe drifts back a step or two as well. And he makes the catch and 2 very quick outs. So 2 up, 2 down now for Zeke Minnick. E.J. Garcia attended Canyon High School. That's very near Amarillo up in the panhandle of Texas. He graduated from Canyon High in 2022. Here's Zeke Minnick now. And the first pitch to Minnick is chopped foul at the plate. It's 0-1. Minnick's having a nice night. Couple of base hits and a strikeout, so he's 2 for 3. And this one comes in tight, and it hit him. And Zeke Minnick is going to trot down to first base after he gets rid of the padding, hit by a pitch. So 2 quick outs, but then a hit batsman puts a runner at first for Mike Bathauer. Bathauer out of the 5 spot, very quiet for Denver tonight, 0 for 3. He's grounded into a double play, bounced back to the pitcher and struck out, and he takes his strike here, and it's 0-1. Two to 1 Denver, top of the 7th inning. The pitch to Bathauer. Beautiful slider in there. It's called a strike. No balls and 2 strikes. Inching away at first base is Minnick, not a real big lead. Through this stretch goes Garcia, delivers another slider down and away. And the count's 1-2. 6 hits now for Lone Star, 4 for Denver, but Denver has the lead 2-1. Here's the pitch, swung on and fouled. Over the netting behind the plate. And the count is a ball and 2 strikes still. Judah Wilbur waits on deck. E.J. Garcia through the stretch, and the pitch swung on and bounced foul just outside the bag at third. So the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch, swung on, lifted, left center field. That's going to get down. That'll be a base hit. And now Minnick is going to try to go first to third. A head first slide, and he's out at third base. Zeke Minnick just tried to advance to third on the base hit to left center, and he was thrown out by Andre Jackson, and the side retired. Boy, that's an interesting decision by Minnick, because on a base hit to the outfield from second base and 2 outs, he'll probably score anyway. But he rolled the dice, tried to advance to third, and gets thrown out on a great throw by Jackson. 8-5 for the third out of the inning. Stretch time at X Stadium. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th. Denver still leads. Denver Cougars 2, Austin Lone Star 1 at the 89th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy.
At Spirit, engineering is a key to defense success. Spirit Aerosystems engineers are leveraging commercial design-build expertise for defense programs. We move from design to development to the factory floor faster. At Spirit, engineers work with research and technology teams to develop new materials, apply factory automation, and build cost and production efficiencies into each project.
DJ Pinkerton to lead off the bottom of the 7th inning for Austin Lonestar against a new pitcher for Denver. And it'll be John Peloquin who will pitch for Denver. And the first pitch to Pinkerton is in for a strike, 0-1. So Peloquin is in. He's out of Lake Charles, Louisiana. 5'11", 175-pounder, attending McNeese State University. And he delivers up high to Pinkerton, and it's now 1-1 strike. Peloquin has been at McNeese State since 2020 as a freshman, but he has played very, very little. Here's the 1-1. Swung on and fouled back to the screen. And the count's 1-2. This is quite a situation to be thrown into, as he has only made 6 appearances in his career at McNeese, which started in 2020. A ball and 2 strikes. Peloquin will deliver outside at 74 miles an hour. And the count is now 2 balls and 2 strikes. DJ Pinkerton is 0 for 2, struck out and grounded out. Here comes a 2-2 pitch. Foul and out of play. Peloquin started his career at McNeese State in 2020. Of course, that was the COVID-shortened year. He made no appearances in that shortened season. Did make 6 appearances in 2021. He even pitched in the NCAA regionals that year. Here's the 2-2, strike 3 called, and Pinkerton down looking, and he is frozen and not happy with the home plate umpire, Mike Lentz, there. Down he goes looking for the first out of the inning. So 1 out now for Andre Jackson. And the Austin Lone Star fans really letting Mike Lentz have it right now about that call. And DJ Pinkerton walking away frustrated. Peloquin, though, gets the strikeout. Now back to the top of the order. Andre Jackson takes up high for a ball. And the count 1 ball and no strikes to Jackson. And Jackson sends this one on the pitch into right field. And that one is going to be snared by the right fielder, Caleb McClellan. He hit that one well, did Jackson, but the other way, and McClellan able to snare it for the second out of the inning. So 2 outs now for Keaton Grady. The first pitch to Grady is up high for a ball on a changeup. It's 1 ball and no strikes. JT Peloquin did not play this last season at McNeese State either. He was on their roster but did not play as a redshirt sophomore. The pitch misses. The count's now 1 ball and 1 strike. So in 2021, those 6 appearances, the only action he's seen since showing up in 2020. Pitch high and away for a ball, and the count's now 2 balls and 1 strike. Peloquin works from the windup, and here comes the 2-1. At 82, a strike on the outer part, and the count is now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Peloquin set and delivers the 2-2. And they had 2-2 on the scoreboard. That was actually ball 3 and now ball 4 as that one misses. So that will be a 2-out walk to Keaton Grady, who will trot down to first base. And it'll get Tony DeJesus up to the plate. So DeJesus steps up now with a runner at first, 2 outs. Keaton Grady represents the tying run. We'll see if they've got him going with 2 outs. DeJesus takes the first pitch. It's a strike. 0-1. To JT Peloquin's credit, even though he's not played much at McNeese State, he has made the conference commissioner's academic honor roll in 2020, 21, and 23. So a 3-timer for the conference, not the school, but his conference's academic honor roll. Next pitch misses, so the count now a ball and a strike to Tony DeJesus, representing the go-ahead run here in the bottom of the 7th inning of a 2-1 game. Denver with the lead, and Peloquin's pitch inside for a ball. And the count is now 2 balls and 1 strike. Jamie Ritchie waiting on deck, hoping he can get a crack at Poloquin this inning. Poloquin working from the stretch. Peers over his left shoulder. And now here comes the pitch. At 83, it's inside. And the count is now 2 balls and 1 strike. Poloquin a long look over at first this time. And throws that way. And back diving in is going to be Grady. Three balls and a strike. Here comes, he took something off, and that's up high, ball 4. So the inning started off very quickly and very well for Poloquin. It went strikeout looking, fly out to right, but since then, he's walked back-to-back batters. So down to second base goes Keaton Grady, and the 2-out walk puts Tony DeJesus on over at first. And Jamie Ritchie will step up now, but first, there will be a conversation out on the pitcher's mound. Hey, we want to say thanks again to BCTV, that's Butler Creative TV from Butler Community College, doing a fantastic job providing the YouTube stream for our viewers watching on the NBC World Series YouTube channel. Those guys doing a tremendous job of getting you great pictures, great graphics of this 89th NBC World Series powered by Evergy, and we're glad to have BCTV here, Butler Creative TV, bringing you the pictures if you're watching along on YouTube. So the conversation over out on the mound. Denver does have a left-handed pitcher warming up down in the bullpen. We'll try to spot a number if we can, but it seems like the times that Lonestar has rallied in this game, it's always been with 2 outs. That's what they're looking at right here. 2 on, 2 outs. Bottom of the 7th inning, Lonestar running out of time, though, as we're getting into the later innings. So we'll see what Jamie Ritchie can do. The first pitch to Ritchie, down for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. JT Poloquin is from Lake Charles, Louisiana. 1 ball and no strikes. And here comes the pitch, and that one inside, it almost hit Ritchie. And it's 2-0. Because of COVID, Poloquin has redshirted 2 of his years at McNeese, so I've talked about how little he's played, but he is only considered a redshirt junior going into 2024, so plenty of time left for him. 2-0, here's the pitch. Fouled straight back, out of play. And the count is now 2 balls and a strike to Jamie Ritchie, the designated hitter for Austin Lonestar, and he is really due. He is 0 for 3 tonight with a couple of strikeouts. He has flown out to left, but certainly in this opportunity, he'd like to try to get something going offensively for himself and for his team. Here's the 2-1. It bounces in. It gets away from Minnick behind the plate, and everybody will move up 90 feet. And now Austin Lonestar with 2 in scoring position again. Well, that was definitely a wild pitch. It bounced well in front of home plate. And again, we talk about the turf and the quick surface for bounces and how it affects infielders. We can't leave out the catchers who have a little bit tougher job, I would presume, in this turf trying to stop pitches bounced in, and Minnick couldn't. So second and third, 3-1, the count to Ritchie, and here comes Poloquin's pitch, and there's a ground ball over to third, fielded by Bathauer. He'll throw to first in time, a 5-3 putout, and Austin Lonestar squanders yet another opportunity. They leave 2 in scoring position after a couple of walks in the inning. We'll go to the 8th. Denver 2, Austin Lonestar 1 at the 89th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy.
Jay was drawing some love.
Well, we've got an old-fashioned pitchers duel at the 89th NBC World Series on this Monday night. 2-1 Denver over Austin Lonestar as we start the 8th inning now. And the first pitch in from E.J. Garcia to Judah Wilbur is taken for a strike, and it's 0-1. And a swing and a miss by Wilbur this time. And now that's quickly 0-2 to Wilbur. Wilbur is 1 for 2 tonight. He has a single. He's been hit by a pitch and reached on an error. Now this one misses outside for a ball. Denver has one more run than Austin Lonestar on one fewer hit. Wilbur's going to bounce one deep in the hole at short. Grady to his right, throws to first and throws it away. And staying at first base is going to be Wilbur. And we'll see if that's going to be a base hit or a throwing error, because that was a tough play deep in the hole over at short. And indeed, it is going to be a base hit. Just too far for Grady to go to his right and in the hole. And again, the turf gets you into the hole more quickly when you're a shortstop, trying to field a bouncing ball like that than trying to stop in your tracks and throw accurately to first and in time. Not always easy. So that will be an infield base hit for Judah Wilbur, who's on base with his second base hit of the night. And that will also draw a conversation out on the mound with Austin Lonestar. There is a relief pitcher warming up down in the Lonestar bullpen. It doesn't appear as if they're going to call on him, at least just yet. This could be more about a conversation with the infield, because you might think Denver is thinking bunt here. So this might well be a conversation about how to defend a possible bunt. It did buy the relief pitcher some more time, though, for sure, down in the bullpen for Austin Lonestar. But E.J. Garcia has been really good. Not sure how much left he has in the tank. Again, he did not pitch a whole lot this past season at Incarnate Word. But we'll see if the bunt is on. Seth Lucero, the designated hitter, is in. He is 0 for 1 tonight. He's walked, and also he flew a sacrifice fly to left field in the first pitch. Down and in for a ball. 1 ball and no strike. He was not showing bunt there. Infield is playing normal up the middle. They're even with the bag at the corners. Another one down and in, and it gets away from Schmidt. Not going anywhere, though, is Judah Wilbur, as it did not trickle far enough away for Wilbert's comfort level, and Judah Wilbur stays at first base. But Lucero is ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. So definite advantage here, and the 2-0 catches the inside edge. A fastball at 83, and it's 2-1. And E.J. Garcia quickly back up to the rubber again and through the stretch. Looking over at first, shuffling his feet is Wilbur. He's not going anywhere. The pitch bounced towards second, and I think that hit the runner. It looked like it did. Apparently not. Wilbur safe at second. The throw goes to first for a 4-3 putout. Boy, I thought I saw the trajectory of that bouncing ball from my angle change momentarily. It almost hit the back right foot of Wilbur. Apparently not. It must have gone just over it. But boy, even looking at the replay, it almost looked like it hit him. But it'll be a 4-3 putout. Lucero retired, and that will do it for E.J. Garcia. His work is now done on the second trip to the mound. But what a job he did for his coach, Aaron Smith, as Garcia came on to start the 4th inning and carries it all the way into the 8th. Without giving up a single run. but a pitching change being made. We'll give you the details in a moment after a timeout. Top of the 8th inning, Denver 2, Lone Star 1 at the 89th NBC World Series powered by Evergy. Well, the relief pitcher for Austin Lone Star is right-hander Daniel Farrow. So Farrow is out of Austin, Texas, attended Houston Christian this past season, and appeared in 11 games. Runner at second for Denver, some insurance they're looking for, and they just got helped by another wild pitch. The first one Farrow offered bounces in, and down to third base goes Judah Wilbur. So a wild pitch on the first one Farrow throws gets Wilbur down to third. That's huge because Denver looking for some insurance in a low-scoring game. And Wilbur makes his way down to third. So Austin Lone Star has brought the infield in. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fouled, and that's going to get over the netting and out of play over on the first base side. So the count is now 1-1 to Jack Deere, the left fielder, who's trying to get Judah Wilbur home with his team clinging to a 2-1 lead here in the top of the 8th inning. Austin Lone Star again with the infield in because Judah Wilbur is down at third base, just 90 feet away from giving Denver a 2-run lead. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and that one inside for a ball. And the count is now 2-1. Jack Deere 0 for 3 tonight. He has flied out twice and struck out. Farrow and Austin Lone Star trying to keep it at a 1-run game. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Farrow a changeup right there, and Deere way out in front of it. Swings and misses. And the count is now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Farrow through this stretch. Nobody holding the runner on at third. Here's the pitch. High and away for a ball. And the count is now 3-2. The outfield is playing fairly shallow as well. Not as extreme as a bottom of the 9th with a runner at third and less than 2-out situation, but fairly shallow as they're hopeful for a shallow fly ball to the outfield. They don't need it. Swing and a miss on another off-speed pitch. What a job by Farrow. A huge strikeout there as Jack Deere is retired, swinging for the second time tonight. And there is a huge out number 2. So Farrow does the job with Jack Deere, but he still has Brady Webb to contend with. But the infield now can retreat to normal depth with 2 outs and a runner at third. And Webb steps up to the plate. The first pitch tried to check his swing, and he did not. And it's 0-1. So Farrow, who had there was a delayed appeal. I'm shocked they even had to appeal that down to first, but they did. And Ben Harlow said indeed he did go around, and watching the replay, I'm not sure why it wasn't called a lot sooner, but after an early bad start on the first couple of pitches for Farrow, he bounces back, gets the strikeout. Here's the second pitch, slider down and away, And it's 1 ball and 1 strike to Brady Webb. 2-1 Denver. Brady Webb with a chance to give his Cougars a little more breathing room. They've got the slimmest of margins now. Here's the pitch. Fastball at 91, but a good eye by Webb as it's a little high. And the count is 2 balls and a strike to Webb. Couple of groundouts for Webb, 1 to second, 1 to short. So both of them up the middle. Here's the 2-1 pitch. And that one, an off-speed pitch again, and it catches the outer edge. Boy, Farrow doing a nice job of mixing up his pitches. He came with 91 and followed that up with 74. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Webb. The 91 was a little high, but still good mix-up. Now here's the 2-2. Inside corner, strike 3 called, and Webb is frozen at the plate. And down he goes, and now Denver kicking themselves as they leave 1 at third with a chance for a 2-run lead. So we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, and the score remains the same as it was after 3. Denver 2, Austin Lonestar 1 at the 89th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy.
We treat everyone who walks through our doors like a lifelong customer. Our sales team prides themselves on delivering a quick, pressure-free buying experience that you won't find anywhere else. We have hundreds of new and pre-owned vehicles in stock, and every one of them has passed our 171-point safety and reliability inspection. If we wouldn't buy it for ourselves, we won't sell it to you. Come see us at any Davis Moore location or check us out online at davis-moore.com.
As we start the bottom of the 8th inning, a new pitcher is on for the Denver Cougars, and it's tall left-hander Easton Nichols at 6'2", 180 pounds. And he's going to face Tilden Nally to start the bottom of the 8th, and the first pitch to Nally is outside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. 2-1, Denver guarding a 1-run lead. Austin Lonestar trying to tie it or take the lead here in the bottom of the 8th, and Nally is going to send one high and towering into left field. And Jack Deere tracks it down, moving a few steps in for the first out of the inning. So there's one away. Easton Nichols, 6'2", 180, throws with a left hand from Highlands Ranch, Colorado, a suburb of Denver, and he's attending Augustana College. And he's in here trying to give his team a 1-run lead moving to the 9th inning. He's going to have to keep Austin Lonestar from scoring this inning. To do that, the first pitch is called a strike, 0-1. Austin Lonestar faithful not liking that strike call by Mike Lentz, but it's 0-1. Nichols works from the stretch, and the pitch is swung on and fouled, back and out of play. And the count is no balls and 2 strikes. So Nichols is yet another pitcher we're seeing that works exclusively from the stretch, regardless of whether runners are on or not. No balls, 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch. Took something off. Beautifully done. Strike 3 called. And my goodness, Corey Schmidt's going to have to be careful. He is screaming at Mike Lentz and took his helmet off, walking back to the dugout, shaking his head, looking back at Lentz again. Lentz stares him down, and he is fortunate that he is still in the game. Schmidt caught looking for out number 2. Now here's Ben Merriman as Nichols stretches and delivers. And that one is in there for a strike, and it's 0-1. That did look like a good pitch. So no balls in his strike. Nichols from the stretch, and the pitch swung on and fouled back to the screen on a couple of bounces. So Merriman behind in the count, 0-2. Ben Merriman hitless on the night. He's grounded into a double play and flied out to short and also flied out to right. 0-2 the pitch. And a slider, a change that stays outside, and the count is 1-2. That one came in at 66 for the hard-throwing lefty. But he had one to burn, 0-2. Now the 1-2. And that one down and in. And the count's even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. We'll start again at noon tomorrow afternoon. We'll have all the action as usual right here on the NBC World Series YouTube channel. Glad you've joined us. Thanks to Butler Creative TV for providing the pictures and sound and graphics. Here's the 2-2, and strike 3 called again as Nichols took something off there. Merriman didn't like it. He was frozen, and down he goes. What a job by Nichols. He retires the side in order, striking out 2. We go to the 9th. Denver 2, Austin Lone Star 1 at the 89th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy.
At Evergy, we're focused not just on what we power, but on who we power, right here in our community. We provide payment assistance to our neighbors who need it. Invest in organizations and people, creating opportunity for all to benefit. And volunteer our time around our hometown so that together we improve it. Because we're committed to spreading good energy throughout our community. Evergy, the utility company.
Well, we're about to start the 9th inning, and a new pitcher is on for Austin Lonestar, and it is a big one, 6'5" Brandon Arvidsson is in for Lonestar. He's out of Dripping Springs, Texas, and he finished his first year at Texas A&M University, where he did not play. He redshirted this past season, but he's an SEC caliber pitcher. To give you an idea of who's in there now, the first batter he'll face is Caleb McClellan, and he leaves one up high to McClellan. 1 ball and no strikes. 2-1 Denver. The Cougars are batting, Denver is, here in the top of the 9th inning over Austin Lonestar, and a swing and a miss by McClellan. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike to the right fielder for Denver. The hit column is even at 6, the error column even at 1. A 2 spot for Denver in the 3rd, a 1 spot for Austin Lonestar in the 3rd, and that has been it. The pitch up high for a ball. The count's now 2 balls and a strike to McClellan. Hitless on the night in 3 official appearances. This one chopped out in front of the plate. Corey Schmidt's going to come from behind the dish, out in front of it, field the high chopper, throw to first in time. There's a 2-3 put out for the first out of the inning. Well, on this turf, unless that one hit the plate, and it may have, either way, whether it was turf or the plate, that's a high bouncer, not like ones you might see off of dirt, but A very high bouncer, but Schmidt waited for it patiently and then also stepped out a few more feet to get a better angle on the throw, and McClellan retired 2-3, one away. Now here's Jonathan Gonzalez. And the first pitch to Gonzalez, a strike, 0-1. Arvidsson works from the windup and delivers, and the pitch swung on, and a bouncing ball out to short. Grady is there, moving toward the bag at second to field. Fire to first in time. There's a 6-3 put out, and Arvidsson doing the job. 2 quick outs here in the top of the 9th inning. For Austin Lonestar, due up in the bottom of the 9th inning, they'll have Roderick Black, DJ Pinkerton, and Andre Jackson. 8, 9, and 1 for Austin Lonestar, and they will be down at least 1, and that's what Brandon Arvidsson is trying to keep it at. He's 2/3 the way there. Here's Matt Bathauer, first pitch swinging, sends one out of play, 0-1. Brandon Arvidsson was a 3-year letter winner in high school at Dripping Springs. He was voted his team's most valuable player, first team All-District his senior year. He had a 1.2 ERA with 71 strikeouts in, get this, 45 innings pitched his senior year of high school. 1-1 now, the count to Matt Bathauer. Second pitch missed, and now Arvidsson wants to step away. So 1-1, Arvidsson ready and delivers. And the pitch swung on, this time a bouncing ball to second. To his right, DeJesus fields it cleanly, throws to first in time. 4-3 put out, Arvidsson a 1-2-3, top of the 9th inning. But we go to the bottom of the 9th with Lonestar still needing 1. Denver 2, Austin Lonestar 1 at the 89th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy.
Have you ever needed to stop or change the way you do something you love because of aches, pains, or injury? The physical therapists at NovaCare are here to get you back to work, life, and your favorite activities. Most importantly, your goals are their goals. Their movement experts will listen and develop an individualized treatment plan so you can heal. Begin care faster by requesting an appointment today at novacare.com. Experience the power of physical therapy at NovaCare.
On to the bottom of the 9th inning we go, and it's Mike Bathauer for Denver that moves from third base over to the pitcher's mound to try to finish this off for the Denver Cougars, guarding a 1-run lead to start the bottom of the 9th. Bathauer's first pitch to Roderick Black, and that's driven fair down the line and right. It's heading to the corner. It's going to be extra bases. Black rounding first on his way to second. He'll get there with a leadoff stand-up double. Well, Black, you'll remember, a couple of innings ago, back in the 5th to be exact, had a single to left center field and then tried to stretch it into a double, but was retired 7-6-4. And that was the first out of the inning, unfortunately, one that Austin Lonestar continued to get base runners aboard, but they did not score all that inning, and it started with that frustration. Here, a no-doubter double, and he's on at second base representing the tying run. So now DJ Pinkerton is in. He's not showing bunt. He bounces one to short, fielded by Wilbur, who throws to first in time. But it does get the runner down to third base. On the bouncing ball with Black's speed, he took off for third anyway. And the only play was to first base. So Pinkerton is retired, 6-3. There's out number one. Now we go back to the top of the order with Andre Jackson. Mike Bathauer has not pitched collegiately since 2021, and he only made one appearance that year and 2 appearances in 20. Here's the pitch to Andre Jackson, and it's in there. A slider at 72 for a strike, 0-1. Hitting was more his thing in college. Here comes the 0-1 pitch at 86, fouled back and out of play. But as a third baseman, you know he's got a gun for an arm. He had no record in 2 seasons of pitching at Adams State in 3 appearances. Here comes the 0-2 pitch, lifted to right field, slicing, and this one is going to get into foul ground, and wisely the right fielder McClellan let it land. There is a heads-up play right there by Caleb McClellan. He could have caught that ball in foul territory, but he knew if he did, he virtually had no chance of getting the runner tagging from third base. So he let it land right in front of him. And now 2 strikes on the hitter, Andre Jackson. That is a heads-up play right there by Caleb McClellan. I guarantee you he could have caught that had he wanted to. 0-2. Here comes the pitch with the infield in, down and away for a ball. It's 1-2. So Roderick Black will have to be careful with the infield in and not necessarily run on contact. 1 ball and 2 strikes with the infield in. Here comes the pitch. Swung on, hot shot foul, just outside the bag at third. So we'll try it again. 2-1. Denver with a lead. Bottom of the 9th inning, though. The tying run 90 feet away for Austin Lonestar in Roderick Black. The potential game-winning run, the go-ahead run, Andre Jackson at the plate with the infield in. A ball and 2 strikes and 1 out. Through the stretch, and the pitch swung on and missed, strike 3. What a pitch that time by Bathauer for the second out in a row. A strikeout swinging for Andre Jackson. And now Austin Lonestar is down to their final out in Keaton Grady. Well, this would be big for Bathauer. He's not pitched in a couple of years. First pitch now to Keaton Grady, swung on and fouled out of play. I say a couple of years. He might well have pitched for his Denver team during this season, but in terms of collegiately, he hasn't pitched in a couple years. And in this type of environment, probably not much. No balls and a strike, the count to Grady. 1 hit for him tonight in the pitch. Sliced foul and out of play again. And now Austin Lonestar is down to their final strike. And it's advantage Bathauer here with the count 0-2. Runner at third, 2 away. Bottom of the 9th inning, Austin Lonestar trying to tie it up. Down to their final strike. Here's the pitch, strike 3 called on the outside edge. And that's the ball game, and Grady does not like that either. And down he goes, and Bathauer gets the save in a thriller tonight to wrap up our Monday from X Stadium. Final score, Denver 2, Austin Lonestar 1. With the win, Denver now is 2-1 in pool play, and so is Austin Lonestar, as Lonestar suffers their first loss of this NBC World Series this year. For Denver, 2 runs on 6 hits and an error. For Austin Lonestar, a run on 7 hits and an error. And Austin Lonestar had their chances. The way this thing ended, kind of symbolic of the way most of the night went for them as they squandered numerous opportunities. The game-tying run was 90 feet away with just 1 out, but they could not get Roderick Black home from third, and Denver comes away with the victory. Our thanks to the Butler Creative TV Group for providing the pictures, graphics, replays, and tonight and all through the NBC World Series. Now this is Steve Strang and inviting you to join us tomorrow at noon, where we'll start it over again for the final day of pool play on Tuesday. And we'll start it off with the GPS Legends and the Hutchinson Monarchs at 12 o'clock sharp. We look forward to having you here for that one as well. Once again, our final score, Denver 2 and Austin Lonestar 1, as Denver and Austin Lonestar both end up 2-1 in pool play. Now from X Stadium, Steve Strain saying so long and good night until tomorrow at 12 o'clock. So long, everybody.